Hey everyone, in this video we're going to talk about strings in Objective-C, how we create them and how we use them. I know in the previous videos I've used strings as an example to highlight concepts like pointers and OOP, but we need to talk about them more because they're a very important data type, very important object that we're going to use a lot. If you're coming from another programming language, I'm sure you're familiar with strings. They are a string of characters usually used to represent text. Also in this video, we're going to get a small introduction to how we create objects and also how we call methods. Let me create a string object. Okay, so I just created a string that represents my name. Let me explain this code. Right here is our data type. This is the class that we're making an instance of. Here we have our pointer, which is separate from the variable name. So the variable name is not pointer my name, it is my name. This could go in front of NSstring, it can go in the middle, but we're usually going to put it right before the variable name. And here we're explicitly creating a string. We use this @ symbol right before the string, and then we surround our string in double quotes. Keep in mind that this is a convenient way of doing it explicitly. A lot of the other times when we create objects, we're actually going to have to allocate space for the object and initialize the values of that object, doing some prep work. But here, it's very convenient with NSstring. It's provided to us by Objective-C. We don't have to do those steps. It's very explicit here. We just use this @ symbol and the double quotes. In contrast, I'll create a primitive data type. You can see no @ symbol, no pointer. Let me use one of NSstring's methods to create another string which combines these two values. Okay, so a lot of things to unpack here. Once again, we're creating an NSstring object called helloString. We use these square brackets to call methods. And this is a method of NSstring, so we're calling it on the NSstring class. This is the name of the method, string with format, and this is the argument. This is our argument, which is a format string, the same you would see in an NSLog statement. As you may have noticed, the placeholder for an NSstring is a %@ symbol. This is the same placeholder for a lot of foundation objects. Let's log this to the console. Here we go, that's the full string. There are also other methods we can use on NSstring or an instance of NSstring. We're going to talk a lot more about methods in later videos, but let's just show you some examples of how you can use NSstring. I'm going to manipulate the string further. I wrote some more code, and for convenience I'm just going to paste it right here, this code, and I'm creating another string called justAgeString. The way I'm creating it is I'm calling a method on this instance of NSstring, helloString. I'm calling a method on this string, and I'm asking for the substring from the index 29. Now I've counted this, and I know that the index 29 is this I. That's where 29 is. That's if we were considering the string as an array of characters, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. 29 is this I. And then I'm going to print justAgeString and see what happens. Let's build and run. Now we see in the console justAgeString is I am 25 years old because I've called this method to get the substring, the string within the string from index 29. And that's how I get justAgeString. Just another example of ways we can manipulate strings. There are so many methods we can use on the string class or an instance of string. I'll show you some more. If I wanted to add to justAgeString, I can write down justAgeString equals, and I'll type that down, and I could put string by appending string, and here I'll type in, so I'm appending this string, and my birthday is in 2 weeks. So if I print this after this statement, I'll cut and paste, run this. String says I am 25 years old and my birthday is in 2 weeks. Of course we don't want old and, so I can just put a space in there and it'll clean it up. I'm 25 years old and my birthday is in 2 weeks. Another thing I want to show you with strings is just how we access all these methods. So if I type in just age string, once I start typing, you're going to see all this autocomplete for all of the different methods I can call. You're not going to know them all at once. Lowercase, uppercase, you can trim strings, you can get substrings, index of a certain character. There's so many things you can do with them that I'd be here forever if I was explaining all of the string methods to you. I just want to show you one other thing. If you want to compare strings, you want to use this is equal to string. You don't necessarily want to use the conditional comparators that we're familiar with because the way strings work, sometimes you can have errors with that. Uh, so if you want to compare strings, just use the is equal to string instead of the equals equals comparator that we're familiar with. Okay? So that's just a little intro to strings because we're going to be using them a lot. We're going to talk more about these objects, making a custom objects, methods, and actually instantiating and creating these objects in the videos to follow.